A young boy points at a police officer in court. What he said left the entire room stunned. The courtroom sat in silence, a heavy stillness pressing against the walls. The air was thick with tension, the kind that made even the faintest shuffle of paper echo like thunder. Every gaze locked onto the small figure in the witness box, a 7-year-old boy, his hands trembling as they clutched the wooden railing. His face pale, his wide eyes darting nervously around the room. The judge leaned forward, her tone soft yet firm. "Do you understand why you're here today, Ethan?" The boy gave a shaky nod, lips quivering. Slowly, he lifted a tiny hand and pointed straight at the officer seated in the front row. The officer's expression stiffened, jaw tightening, as Ethan's finger stayed fixed and unshaken. "It's him," Ethan whispered, his voice barely above a breath. "He's the one who hurt my mom!" The room exploded. Gasps rippled like waves. The officer jumped to his feet, his chair screeching against the floor. The judge's gavel cracked down, but the damage was already done. Every person inside was perched on the edge of their seat, hearts pounding with a single question. What could a 7-year-old possibly know that would put a police officer on trial? But this wasn't only about a child pointing a finger. This was about a secret so dark, so deeply buried, that it threatened to unravel the town itself. In just moments, Ethan would reveal something that left the courtroom utterly speechless. Something that forced everyone to question justice, loyalty, and the people they thought they could trust most. What could a child say that would shake a seasoned officer to his core? And why did fear flicker in that officer's eyes? Ethan wasn't meant to be here. He was just a shy boy who loved dinosaurs, who spent afternoons building forts from cardboard boxes. His world was small, his mom, his dog, their little house on Maple Street. But all of that changed the night his mother never came home. He had waited at the window, his face pressed to the glass, until headlights finally appeared. A police car. But it wasn't his mother who stepped out. It was Officer Daniels, the man who always waved from his patrol car. But that night there was no wave, only a grim face and a story that didn't make sense. "Your mom's been in an accident," Daniels told him, voice too calm, too rehearsed. "She's gone." But Ethan knew better. He saw Daniels shaking hands. He noticed the blood on his uniform, and he remembered the warning his mom whispered days before. "If anything happens to me, Ethan, don't trust anyone. Not even the police." Now in court, Ethan wasn't just a frightened little boy. He was the only one who knew the truth, and he was ready to tell it. It all began with a drawing. A week after his mom's death, Ethan's teacher noticed something strange. While other kids drew rainbows and superheroes, Ethan filled his paper with dark scribbles, a man in a police uniform, a woman on the ground, and a car with headlights like angry eyes. When the teacher asked, Ethan broke down crying. "That's Officer Daniels," he said. "He hurt my mom. He made her go away." The teacher reported it. Soon, Ethan was pulled into a whirlwind of detectives, lawyers, and courtrooms. The police called it the ramblings of a grieving child. But Ethan's grandmother wasn't convinced. She hired a determined defense attorney who believed Ethan's story and was ready to risk everything to prove it. The trial was a storm of doubt and disbelief. The prosecution painted Ethan as confused, traumatized, lashing out. The defense painted a different picture, one of corruption, cover-ups, and a truth that could destroy lives. Ethan's testimony became the trial's center. He described the night in vivid detail, but words weren't enough. The defense needed proof. That's when Ethan revealed a bombshell. "I have something," he said, voice shaking but clear. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a crumpled piece of paper, a gas station receipt from the night his mom disappeared. On the back was a license plate number, Officer Daniels' plate number. The courtroom erupted again. This wasn't just a child's word anymore. This was evidence. And it pointed directly at Daniels. But the road wasn't easy. The police closed ranks. Ethan's credibility was questioned. The defense attorney was threatened. Ethan's grandmother feared for their lives. Then came the shocking twist. Daniels took the stand. He looked at Ethan and said calmly, "I didn't hurt your mom. I tried to save her. Sometimes bad things happen we can't explain." For a moment, even Ethan wavered. Had he been wrong? But then he remembered. Don't trust anyone. He refused to back down. On the final day, the defense dropped new evidence, security footage from that gas station. It showed Daniels arguing with Ethan's mom just hours before her death. The receipt wasn't just paper, it was the trail that exposed the truth. Ethan took the stand one last time. No trembling now,